Hello, my name is Renzer, and I'd like to talk to you about something today. Recently on my channel, I have had many discussions about the heavy assault and its role in the battlefield. So from my experience and for your viewing pleasure, here are my 4 main NC heavy assault builds that I use for general and competitive play. The video will be split into 2 10-minute long parts. As a starting point, we're going to specialize in CQC and pushing point. This build, which I call the Shock Trooper, uses a jackhammer, desperado, and a decimator for maximum damage up close. We're using the adrenaline shield to soak up damage. For nades, you can either use standard frags or concussions if you know how to use them well. During solo play, I recommend having a medkit, but when going for full-on assault with a team, get the C4. Our implant is clear vision. It will also allow us to rush a concussed room without worry. The main role of this build on the battlefield is clearing and taking dug-in positions. You specialize in fast and hard-hitting CQC. Mobility is your middle name and surprise is your profession. Attack from strange angles and commit fully. You need to get close and get fast so the enemy doesn't know how to react. If the Desperado isn't your thing, as a secondary you can try out the Commissioner. It will help you out in those longer range engagements. The benefits that you get from specializing in CQC weigh heavy on other aspects. You have a very narrow field of engagement and you will be most successful in squad play. Understanding when to engage and how to shoot is another aspect of this build. It takes time to understand which attack is right, so you need to get comfortable with what you have. The strength that this build brings to the table while attacking can be translated into defense as well, especially when the area we have in mind is quite small. This can be done with good effect if you remember that you cannot stand still for too long. Your weapon has a great time to kill and works wonders with a surprise attack. Therefore, always keep the enemies guessing your position and don't let them get a mental image of your area of operations. Abuse the player echo we talked about in the pre-fire tutorial and try to make it as hard as possible for the enemy to get an organized push in. Do whatever is in your power to make the enemy lose the idea of a front line. Don't let them know or think that they know where they can expect you. Hit from sides and from places that the enemy feels safe in. That is the key to success. Now you might get some hate for this build, because people don't like shotguns, but I'll tell you something that really matters. Not how things look, but how effective they are. So don't listen to the yellow swag crowd. Alright, from very specific we're moving into the generalized with my Titan AV build. This build focuses on being effective on a wide variety of targets. Now we're using the EM6 or the Godsaw, the underboss for very close range, and the Hawk as the launcher. The Hawk is used here so you can engage both ground targets and lock on to enemy air. Your main shield will be either the Adrenaline, because I like it, or you can try to focus on using the Resist shield. As a suitability, put on some more rockets so you can fire for a longer time period. Now when it comes to grenades, it's really your choice because you're only going to have one. As a utility, I think that the medkit is very useful. Now the implant I'm running here is enhanced targeting, but if you want to, you can always switch to the rangefinder. I do it because sometimes I use this build as my platform for using the Phoenix rocket launcher. This build focuses mainly on controlling the battlefield in the mid-ranges. Thanks to your loadout, you can engage infantry, vehicles in air. Your main strength is the amount of things you can kill without having to change to a different class or setup. If you remember to keep the infantry fights to a comfortable 20-50 meters, and you play your cards well by popping in and out of cover and bursting your weapon, you will find that this setup is capable of stopping an entire enemy squad from pushing up. By being a general war platform, you lose out in the extremes. You're not really suited to fight in the CQC, nor in the long range department. You will have to focus almost exclusively on aiming down sights. Pick this build if you know you're going to engage enemies at mid-ranges, and some anti-air capabilities might be needed. This is my go-to heavy, and I love it for the damage the main weapon brings and the overall effectiveness. It is robust, useful, and has a strong presence on the battlefield. It is good during an attack if it's slow and methodical, but shines most during defense scenarios where many enemies have to cross from cover to cover to get to you. I'm giving you the EM6 as an option because I know that not all players love the Godsaw. It is a weapon that has "make every shot count" written all over it. But still I think that learning it correctly is worth the trouble.
Okay, select this.
In this situation I knew that I wasn't really useful when it came to attacking the point, so what I decided to do was to hold one of the flanks of our main force, while most of the infantry focused on pushing the point, or at least trying to. I decided to watch their back and now allow this entire squad of TR to get them from the side. As you can see, by popping in and out of cover and bursting the weapon, I managed to hold their entire attack for a good long time.
It's on the way, right?
Now here's something you can try. If you want this build to be a little bit more long-range friendly, get the Gaussa S with high-velocity ammo and a 3x scope. The bullet velocity of the weapon allows you to engage enemies at very long ranges. But for now, thanks a lot for watching, and I hope to see you both in-game and on stream. Renz are out.